Hello and welcome to Strategic Gaming. My name is Mac Taylor, the guy who can't stop talking about the social experiment because I like to talk about myself. We all know this. I have three people with me today. That's right. Three people, and I'm not in the same room as any of them this time, so the illusion is real. Well, uh, first, uh, you saw him on the podcast, a different podcast with me earlier this evening. It's the great Chris Wilkerson. How's it going, Chris?
It's great. It's great.
And we have a girl. She's lovely. She's excitable. She's fun and probably smarter than me in almost every single category. It's Tequilla Yeager. How's it going,
Pretty good. Very nice.
Tequila? And we missed her on the podcast last week. She had to work a little overtime, so we didn't. I had a whole week without this girl in my life, and it was very sad, and I didn't know what to do with my life. I'm so excited. It's Jada Lewis. How's it going, Jada?
Hey, still working a lot of overtime, to be honest, but not tonight.
Yay, not tonight. All right. So, Jada, you missed like 6 episodes that we talked about. A couple of things happened.
Just a few minor details.
You missed technically 2 evictions. You missed the end of Shannon Geddon. We talked about the end of Shannon Geddon.
No.
We had Kent's HOH and Kent going mad with power. We had Mike Boogie walking out the door. We had Hardy once again winning HOH and then going batshit bananas. We had Will doing all his stuff, going around making a bunch of lies, warming up to Hardy and Nicole. So basically, Jada, walk me through your thoughts. Take about 5 minutes or so and just tell me Shannon Geddon, Mike Boogie's eviction, Hardy's HOH, Ken's HOH, the status of the house. What are your thoughts?
Wow. That's a lot of ground to cover. Let's start, of course, Shannon Geddon. I'm actually really sad that I was unable to be on the podcast for that one because I was so happy to see her go. Man, she just got a little psycho, didn't she? So I'm pretty happy about that. See, next, Kent won HOH. Went a little crazy. I can't seem to understand why nobody can be an HOH without going a little crazy. Like, please just stay level-headed, please. But yeah, so it was crazy because he was talking about nominating Bunky against Mike. And then I was like, Bunky? But you guys are friends now. Why would you do this, Kent? And then he ended up nominating Mike and Krista, who at this point had started forming like this kind of surprising, but if you were kind of paying attention to them, not as surprising, like romantic thing going on between them. And so that was pretty sad. Obviously, I think it was Will who was going around trying to be like advocating for Mike to stay in the house, and Mike was kind of like, Will, buddy, like I don't want to hurt Krista. So that was good. Kind of like how Shannon reacted when she and Will were on the block. She was like, I don't want to hurt Will. So that was interesting. Kent. What the F, man? What the F, man? I don't even get me started. Like we just don't have enough time in the world. Who is it? Hardy won HOH.
Yes, Hardy's floppy HOH.
And at this point of the things that I've missed, because it's all a blur now, has he nominated anybody from the episodes that I missed of the podcast?
He nominated Kent and Will.
Kent and Will, okay. And I just don't remember which episode is which at this point, like where the lines cross into what we're talking about tonight and what we talked about last week.
We start tonight with the eviction episode.
Oh, okay. So Kent and Will. And then Will, he's like, what's it? So a lot of the alliances that have kind of been here since the beginning are like coming out. Like the Krista and Monica and Hardy thing.
The Untouchables.
Yes, thank you. And so then like Krista's telling like Will about this, and Will's going kind of crazy about it. And so everybody's just talking about everything. And so the status of the house is just getting a little rocky. There's a lot of mistrust everywhere. And everybody's finding out that there have been all of these alliances that nobody knew about this whole time. And so it's causing some turmoil in the house. And so now we have Kent and Will on the block. And
we had Kent in the house meeting calling out Hardy for all of his hypocrisy, and Hardy basically ended up just screaming "fuck you" back and forth together. But
yes.
Hardy
gets HOH, and Hardy is once again not quite in control of himself and the power that comes with the HOH. Again, guys, please, level-headedness is how you're going to win the game. But I digress.
All right. So yeah, that was it. Was a lot happened.
So many things.
Like, and really, has been Big Brother 2 as a whole. Like, we started out real like low key, like all right. For you guys, like not really watching much Big Brother, you're like, okay, this is kind of all right. Like, I can kind of get down. And then it's like, oh, where's this going? The whole Shannon Gedden thing's like, oh, it's like two sides. Then all of a sudden it's like, bam, we're here. Like, everybody everywhere doing crazy shit. You don't know who's voting, what, where, why, how. And this is just bare bones Big Brother. We don't like. We'll just add each season. We're just gonna layer something else on top of it. Basically, people lose their goddamn minds in that house. So I will digress. We'll start talking about the episode, and you guys can talk. And I'll try to keep my thoughts to a minimum. Basically, right off the bat, Jada alluded to this a little bit about all the alliances are out. And Will's like, okay, Krista, what exactly, I know you're not going to lie, what exactly happened? And so she's like, yeah, Untouchables, me, Monica, Hardy, like that was a set thing from like the beginning of the game. And Will's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go down with that. And he runs to Nicole and he's like, hey, did you know that Hardy is in this alliance with Monica and Krista? Like when he said he was going to be loyal to you. Did you know that? And she's like, oh my God, no. So she's like crazy. She's mad. She's pissed. And she's like, well, Will, you're the only person I trust in this house. And he's like, yeah, you're the only person I trust in this house. Like me and you to the final two. That sounds great.
And what a freaking turnaround.
Exactly. Which brings me to my question. We'll go, because this is how you're appearing on my screen. We'll go Chris, then Jada, then Tequilla. Thoughts on Will taking this huge house explosion and making it so that he's in the best position? Chris, go ahead.
The doctor is in. I mean, he is the evil doctor, Will. And he's proven it right now. He's not personally seeing to it, but he has seen to the outing of almost every alliance in the house. And he's playing it into everybody. So people start to have to trust Will. And I think he's about to use it to his advantage.
Okay, Jada?
Honestly, now that everything is out in the open, I'm not surprised at all that good old evil Dr. Will is twisting it and contorting it in a way that serves him and his game. Because he is a master manipulator, and he proved that at the very beginning with that the diet thing.
Yeah, the fast.
The fasting. He proved it from the very beginning that he's a master manipulator, and to use all of these alliances coming out of the woodworks for his advantage is just not surprising at all.
Okay, Tequila?
Yeah, like he's using his smarts now, like into the game. So now he's going to use it for his advantage instead of sitting back and letting stuff happen. Now he's actually going for it and doing what he needs to do, and yet twisting his words, lying. but yet nobody knows that he's lying because he's so good. Like Jada said, he's so manipulative. Everybody's going to go for it. So I like what he's doing with it because he's being really smart with it.
Mm.
Yeah, and I love how he says he's like I'm going to say like 150 lies a day, and only 2 of them are going to stick, but that's the 2 I need to stick. Like, and that is Will's game in a nutshell. He's like, I'm just going to be, people know I'm conniving, people know I'm deceitful, but I'm just going to keep spinning it, and eventually they're going to buy what I sell.
And honestly, that's how he's gotten so far in the game, because he has stuck to his game plan. He has stuck to who he is in the house. And despite how much I dislike him as a person and how I dislike his gameplay, you have to commend the fact that he's stuck with it and that it's working. Like, it's smart, even if it's evil.
Yeah, and we get... so basically what Will's trying to do with Nicole was going to take Hardy to the final 2. That was kind of Nicole's ride or die. Will wants that spot. He wants to be the Hardy. He wants everybody to want to take him. He's pretty much done a damn good job of that at this point. And then, so we get this clip where, like, we meet Hardy's girlfriend, and she's talking about how, like, this is how he is in real life. Like, he's super sweet. He's under a lot of pressure, and he's doing some weird things there, but, like, he's all about his morals. And Shannon, if I ever run into you outside of the game, like, me and you are gonna tussle. And it's thoughts on Hardy's girlfriend, because he called her the combination 2 actresses. Name I can't remember. I think Reese Witherspoon was one that he said. And I'm like, this girl ain't even that attractive, Hardy. I'm sorry, but no, you're wrong. Okay, so Chris, Jada, Tequilla, thoughts on the Hardy girlfriend segment?
Oh, I hated the girlfriend segment. I mean, I almost felt like they just grabbed a random chick off the street to pretend to be Hardy's girlfriend just to get views. Like, that's where I feel like this girl fell from. I really don't think she dates Hardy. But I do feel if she ever did date Hardy and she does see Shannon in the real world, she might kick her ass.
Jada?
This is just like when we had Shannon's boyfriend on. It's just kind of like, what's the point? Nobody's enjoying this. This just feels like this extra, like you just needed some more time to fill out the full like hour of screen time, basically. And I don't know, I just didn't feel like it served a real purpose.
Tequila?
Yeah, I agree with Jada, but on the other hand, the highlight of that interview was when she's talking about Shannon and fighting her. I was like, oh yeah, somebody hates her as much as I do. So, but that was the highlight of the interview for me. Other than that, like, I agree with Jada. It was pointless. It didn't need to be in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say when Jada was talking about hatred of Shannon, I was like, I think the only person that hates Shannon more than Jada is Tequila, because during the whole, I thought I rewatched this podcast to make sure the audio quality is okay, and there's one point where Tequila is like, I hate Shannon, I hate her mom, I hate her family. I want her to go. I was like, oh shit, like.
Okay, Tequila.
Just come right after.
So, and I like how they show the comparison. So just like we see how Will started out as like public enemy number 1, and now he's like sitting very pretty right now.
Mm-hmm. We
had Kent, who starts out like a solid person in the house who's like gonna stay around for a long time. And they show as the weeks go on, it does not look good. Like each week he's losing a little more. So talked about Will's rise. Let's talk about Kent's downfall. Chris and Jada and Tequila. Chris, go.
I mean, Kent's downfall was inevitable. He's the old grumpy dude who just mopes around and smokes cigarettes. And then he starts to quit smoking cigarettes, and oh my God, everybody hates him. He's on everybody's last nerve. Nobody appreciates what he does around the house anymore, and they just would really like to see him gone.
Yeah. Absolutely. You can see maybe, I mean, he ended up winning head of household, but honestly, that was just like a sick twist of fate at this point in the game because already he was kind of on the outside. I don't think anybody really fully liked him. He was just kind of like Chris said, this grumpy old man on the outside, right? And then once he got that HOH, he just started losing it. And then, going after people, quitting cigarettes, getting even more irritable. And then, that's ultimately how you lose the game is if you're already an outsider and you just become more of a dick, like nobody's going to want to keep you around.
Yeah.
Not entirely true. Will was on the outside. Will is the dick. And Will is in that house doing quite well.
Yeah, but he still socialized and did like group events, and Kent was always just kind of like awkwardly on the outside. You know what I mean?
All right, Tequilla.
Yeah, like Kent, he's a dick, but Will's just a dick. So like that's where you have to verify those two people. But like Kent, he was on the outside for the longest time, and he wasn't participating in anything. So he was fine, like nobody really disliked him at that point until he started putting his foot in his mouth and started being mean to everybody. And then he's like, okay, it's kind of late in the game, but I'm going to try to be nice to people now, even though I'm HOH, but I'm still a dick at the same time. So then his downfall was even worse than what it was at, the midpoint of the game. So now everybody's just like totally done with him and they don't even care what he says.
Yeah, Kent. It's almost kind of sad in a way because with what he says at that house meeting, it does cause what he wants to happen, just, not with the result he wants. But also, he's completely correct. He's 100% correct in what he's saying. But at this point, he has nobody besides Bunky on his side, but that doesn't help because Bunky's not really that great of a help in getting things done. So if he had said this information during his head of household, he might have had some leverage to make a deal or to make something happen. But he did this when he was on the block going toward eviction. It is, like we said last time a little bit, it's too little, too late. And like Will even said, yeah, you're right, but you're not going to stay here to see it to the end. So they do their speeches, which, your speech is like your last chance to save yourself. Kent's like, yeah, I'm ready to go home. I'm tired of this shit. And Will sings, I Will Survive.
Yeah.
The antics of this household.
But I Will Survive, a fitting choice for Will because he has survived when no one thought he could.
And his name is Will.
His name is Will. Beautiful journalism, Jada. Also, can I talk about my uncomfortability with the fact that Nicole keeps calling Kent daddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Julie goes, Nicole, if you like him so much, why did you nominate your daddy? And I'm like, stop saying that. Stop saying it, Julie. It's gross.
Did it mean something different in 2001?
I guess.
I don't know, but every time she says it, I'm like, my spine like crushes into my skull.
It's called heebie-jeebies. Then
much more of that, and I would be like physically disfigured for the rest of my life. That's how. And then Julie, she always talks to the head of household, so she's talking to Hardy, and she's like, basically, she points out Hardy's hypocrisy, and like, you're saying one thing, but you're doing the other, and do you think that's bad? He's like, no, I've stuck to my morals in this game. I am 100%. I can sleep at night, and you gotta be able to sleep at night when you go to this house. The life after this house, and it's not worth the money. I don't want to win. I want someone else to win. And I'm like, when the host of the show, who has absolutely no care in the world of who wins, is saying, hey, Hardy, this doesn't make any sense. And then you just say the same shit that you're always saying. Like, face palm moment. Okay, so here's the talking point here. they get to practice. For their HOH coming up, they'll be throwing a key down these lanes closest to the HOH spot will win HOH. They let them practice before the HOH coming. And Bunky says it best where he's like, my life in the game can literally come down to how well I can throw my Bunky key. So if you are a player in this HOH, how nervous are you when you're about to throw this key, knowing you get one shot, and if potentially you could be going home if you miss? Kristen, Jada, Tequilla, go Chris.
I mean, with me, I don't feel like I would be nervous at all. I mean, there are only certain things in life I get nervous about, and choking in a game just doesn't happen for me.
Jada?
I am blind and I have terrible hand-eye coordination.
I'm not saying if you would win this comp, because I know you wouldn't, but
so knowing this about me, knowing my limited skill set regarding this, I would be nervous as heck.
Tequila.
Depending, like, I get the whole game thing, and this is your last shot, depending on how well you played the game, but it doesn't always depend on that. But like Jada, like, if I've got 5, 6, 7 times to practice, I can practice as much as I want for a day, and I'm really good. I can suck my first throw of the whole thing, and I'm like, well, I fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is one of those like crapshoot HOHs. Like, there's not really a skill. You're just whoever gets that best throw in. Like you could practice throwing that thing, like Tequila said, like 100 times, get really good, and then you go to throw the one time and it just fucks up, and you're like, and like that's it. That's the HOH. It's over. But I do like the life in the key thing, because literally in the game their keys are their life. So it's like, 4-0 vote. Kent is evicted. He's like, I am surprised I lasted this long. I thought I was going to be voted out first because of the card thing. I played a game, and he's like, there are some freaks and weirdos in there. Everybody has agents in there. They're fake people. Me and Bunky are real people, even though he's gay, and like I don't agree with that lifestyle. I will be friends with Bunky outside of this house. Other than that, I'm glad to be gone. Final thoughts on Chris, go.
Oh, Kent just honestly, I think, shows his true colors at the end of this game when he calls everybody fake and just completely degrades their whole like personality. And I think it is wrong because he just got played, and I think he is hurt about that. And because of the person he is outside of this game, he's just going to be mad, and that's how he wants to take it out on his fellow competitors.
Jada?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's surprising at all that he went off, because if you think back through the show, I mean, how many times has he gone off on the fellow house guests when they annoy him? He's a grumpy, loud old man. I'm happy to see him go. I really don't understand how he made it so far, since he was like not really liked by a lot of people. But he gets to go home with that car. So,
all right, Tequila.
Yeah, I agree with both of them. I do feel like he was really mean and selfish. Like when he walked out, as soon as he got evicted, he up and he left. He didn't say goodbyes or anything. He grabbed his bag, said, I'm free, like 5,000 times. Mm-hmm. Then he walks up, talks to, Julie. Mm-hmm. And what really got me was Bunky, though. Like, I was actually tearing up. Like tears were falling down my face when Bunky was talking about not being with Kent in the house anymore. Like, I felt bad, but I was happy to see Kent go at the same time. But I felt so sad for Bunky.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, it just reminded me back at like the very beginning, I think like week 2, when Autumn was evicted and she just left without saying goodbye. And I'm pretty sure Kent was like butthurt about it. He was like, I wanted to say goodbye to her because, It's pretty rude of her to just walk out without saying goodbye to everybody because I know we all voted her out, but blah, blah, blah. And then he goes and gets his eviction and walks out without saying goodbye to anybody. Like,
yeah, but I think that's a little bit of a different scenario. I'm not defending it at all. Like, like if I play Big Brother and I get evicted, I'm saying goodbye to the game. Like, I'm glad to be here. But Autumn, she was very nurtured going into her eviction. Like, no one was mean to her. No one, like, thought was Shannon. But like, the majority of the house was great to her, and she just like acted like they betrayed her. Yeah. Whereas Kent, Bunky was the only person that ended up. Bunky and Ophelia were the only people he hung out with at the end of his game. So he probably should have. I'm sure he said goodbye to Bunky before the eviction even took place, and he had no reason. He's like he said, he's not going to talk to any of their people besides Bunky. So why the hell is he going to say goodbye to them then? It's not how I think he should have handled it. But he's the older man of the house. He's set in his ways, and that's how he wanted to go out. That's how he wanted. And with Kent going, that's one member of Team Jada that finds themselves gone. Darn. So Chris and Jada hang on to one person. Tequilla and Kristen. Talking about Kristen in the house. Got Kristen, got Chris. Kristen also has both of her people in the house. So Tequila, are you feeling good about your picks right now?
No, not now. After watching this last episode, I'm like, I'm kind of ashamed and disappointed now.
She's like, God damn it. So we're gonna get into some of that. We're going into episode 17 now. Like Tequila alluded to, Bunky is just destroyed that he voted to evict Kent. He's like, Kent's gone. I evicted him. I should have voted to give him that sympathy vote. Like, he's distraught. He's very distraught about having done that. What his life in the house is going to be like now that Kent's gone. Nicole wins HOH. I forgot to mention that at the end of the episode. Nicole gets that key to the extra distance. After this is the first time she's like, yeah, I probably don't want HOH. And now she's HOH.
That's just life, man.
Yeah. And she's like, well, I'm going to go do one-on-ones with everyone. Which, great idea. Great idea. Nicole shows a little bit more competency here. She's like, I need to talk to everybody to like, see where their head's at in the game. I know Krista did this, but Krista didn't take this advice into consideration. Nicole did. She had an open mind going into this. Clearly, everybody had a little bit of a different idea of where the nomination fall because there's only 6. So she's fearing the nom. She's sweating. So she basically talks to Krista, and she's like, probably going to be you and Monica. Is that cool? Krista's like, yeah, it would make sense. That would make sense. I would, if I were you, I would probably put me and Monica. And I'm like, what? like,
way to fight for yourself.
Who the hell says that? So I got 1 point to get to before we talk about that. I forgot to talk about this. Final 6. They are halfway through. The game is half of them are gone. So my question is this the final 6 that when you started episode 1, is this the 6 you thought would be there? And if not, who surprised you? So Chris, start us out. Final 6. Did you expect these 6? And if not, who'd you expect to be there? Who'd you expect to not be there?
I mean, after the first week, I felt like this would be the top 6, but the first time I watched the show, I didn't think it would be Nicole. I figured Mikey would have took that spot, but he got voted out, and Nicole didn't get voted out. So it happened.
Okay, Jada?
If you remember back to the very beginning of this podcast, you might remember me hating Nicole and being like, she can't make it far if she's going to keep acting like this. I really did not think she would get this far. I thought Boogie would make it farther. I probably have them switch places. Monica, though I love her dearly at the very beginning, I didn't think she was playing a strong game, so I'm surprised she made it super far. At this point, they really have gotten rid of a lot of the, more expendable, like not top of their game people. So, I mean, once you think make sense of it where you are now, it makes sense. But at the very beginning of the game, if you would have said this is where we'd be, definitely not what I thought.
Tequila?
Yeah, the person that I think all these 6 people would have made it except for Nicole. I would have switched what Jada said, like Boogie out for Nicole. Other than that, I think everybody that made it this far, I would put there as well.
Yeah, it really is odd to think like Boogie was a really competent, strong player, and he went out fairly early. Yeah, like on my first view, I was surprised that Nicole stayed in. I thought she was doomed, and I would have put Boogie in her spot. I'm kind of surprised that Bunky managed to just not be nominated this whole time. But the biggest surprise to me is Will, because they should have taken the shot. They had the shot lined up, and they said they were going to do it. They didn't do it, and like, yeah, he there's a reason why he's there. Like he's talked his way out of every situation he's been put into. But on paper, there's no way he should be there. So on to the point we were going to before I had to bring that up. What the hell's going on with Krista just being totally cool with this? And yeah, let's go. What thoughts on Krista a bit here? Chris, go ahead.
I think Krista is honestly trying to get in Nicole's head by saying this, or she's just being completely honest. I mean, to Nicole, Krista and Monica are her biggest threat besides Will, but she doesn't know Will is a threat, or just doesn't want to believe that he's a threat because she wants to trust him. But in Nicole's eyes, I feel Krista and Monica would be good nominations, and Krista is just trying to psych her out and play mind games.
Okay, Jada?
Maybe she misses Mike. I'm kidding. Yeah. I agree with Chris. Maybe she is trying to just play kind of like mind games. I don't know if there's real strategy there, or if she really is just being honest. Like, I don't know what's going on with this conversation. Like, why? It doesn't make any sense. Like, why not defend yourself? Why not make an effort to keep you there? And maybe she thinks she'll look less threatening and won't be put up if she just like agrees with Nicole. I honestly have no idea what's going on in Chris's head right now.
Tequila?
Yeah, same. I think I don't know if Krista really knows what's going on really either. Like, I mean, she could be shocked Nicole's putting her up, and maybe that's why she's not acting out right now until she figures out more. I don't know. Like, maybe, yeah, she does have another game plan in mind, saying, hey, maybe if I don't freak out and get all angry, maybe Nicole's like, all right, maybe there's something going on with Krista. So, yeah, it could either be gameplay or she's just totally shocked.
Yeah, I have no idea what, I really don't know what she was thinking in this moment. But generally speaking, when the person is going to make nominations, and again, no veto in this season, so you're on the block, you generally don't go, yeah, you should probably put me up. That would make sense. I would totally, yeah, if I was in your spot, I would do that. Yeah. That's like, well, I can't logically put my, I can't. I just can't. I'm a basic white bitch on this one. I just can't. On the flip, Krista's like, I can't believe Bunky voted out his friend. Like, that, she says, like, that's punk. She says, which is a stupid way of saying that. But she's like, how dare he vote out his friend, which most of them have voted out their friends. The only person who really didn't is Krista, and she was nominated against the person she didn't want to have to vote against. So it didn't matter.
Right.
So, like, Bunky voted with the house because he's like, if I don't, I'm next. And it makes sense, and Kent was okay with that. Just to be like, oh yeah, Bunky's such a rat, he's such a two-faced, whatever. Not really. He's just trying to not get out of the game, which is like what you're supposed to. It's literally the point of why you're there. So I just think that was all in all not much to talk about, just unnecessary. I really think it was unnecessary. Kind of made me not really a fan of Krista in this moment. Nicole's like, yeah, I'm really kind of here to target Monica. And then Krista's like, okay, that's fine. You're going to target Monica, And she's like, yeah, I kind of want you to win, Krista. She's like, why me? Why don't you want to win? He's like, oh, I'm just here for the social experiment.
Ben.
Sorry. I wrote, I was like, social experiment? We did this. No, sorry.
I honestly had been spacing out for like 5 seconds before that, and just all I heard was you say, the social experiment. Damn it, Ben.
All you needed. All you needed to and so she's like, I'll talk to Monica. Maybe Monica will give me the same thing Krista did, and this will be easy. And she's like, Monica, I'm thinking about putting you up. What do you think about that? She's like, yeah, you better put me up. I'm the biggest threat in this house. And if you don't put me up, I was going to put you up if I was HOH. One of us was going to get HOH. You got it before me. It makes sense. Like, you going to come at me just because I voted out you over Cheryl when I like Cheryl? I was like, whoa. What? You went from like 0 to a 10 for no reason. But like, yeah, she is making sense. But again,
why?
Calm it down just a bit. Thoughts on Monica's sudden need to be a 10 all the time, Crisco?
Monica has just had enough of everybody's shit. She's tired of all the lies and all the deceit. And she knows her and Krista have played this game straight up since they came in. And she's pissed. I mean, she hates being in here with so many people that will just lie and manipulate to get whatever way they want. And with so many people that are willing to lie and say they're not there for the money. The whole reason you play the game is for the money. You don't come for the social experiment. You go to make money. I mean, why else would you sacrifice that much of your life and not get anything out of it? No, you're not there to talk to people. You're there to win money.
Okay, Jada?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Chris. Like, at this point, Monica is just, like, fed up. I don't know if this was the best way to react to Nicole's words. And by that, it definitely wasn't the best way. She definitely just flipped a switch and went full throttle. But, you know, I mean, you can't really blame her because I know once I get fed up with something, I flip the same switch and I'm just done. So it wasn't smart, but it was amusing and it was understandable.
Tequilla?
Yeah, I agree with both of them. Like Monica, like we seen her, 2 episodes ago, her already exploding over everybody anyway in the house, talking about strategy and this and that. So I think that was the tipping point, and that's what started all of this yelling all the time. Like, I don't really think there's an episode where she doesn't yell, like, after the point where she exploded. So, I mean, I think, like, once Nicole's like, hey, I'm going to put you up, Monica's like, fine, whatever, I don't care, do what you need to do, you're going to be gone anyway. So I really feel like this is the true Monica now that's coming out, which I guess is better than nothing since it's, like, towards the end of the game and she wasn't, like, doing this at the beginning. But, yeah, it's mostly just she's done and she's over with it.
Yeah, and, like, it's great television, but it's awful gameplay. Yeah, nobody really wants that kind of energy in the house. But I mean, like, we'll see later. It's kind of working for her, but like most situations, this would be a gone situation. Then we get this. I love this. Like, I just love how I love. I'll stop babbling and talk about it. Monica and Krista are in the hot tub and they're talking about like, we need to like get it together. And like, try to like ride it out this week or whatever. And Will is just like outside existing. And Monica's like, or no, Krista says, hey, Will, would you bring me a beer? He's like, yeah, I can do that. And he goes and gets a beer, walks over there. Monica's like, just want to let you know it's on. And he's like, what? What does that mean? It's on. And she's like, I'm just telling you, it's on. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck are you talking about? What is on? He goes, he's like, with Monica, I don't know if she's talking like it's on, like a light is on in the house, or it's on like she's gonna shoot me. I don't know what she's saying. And he's like, I don't know what I did to upset you, but if you want to talk about it, I'm right here. We can talk about it. And she's like, oh, nah, we're good. You needed to know it's on. And he's like, well, Krista, if you want to talk later, we'll talk later. And what is she? She says like, oh, kiss my ass. And he's like, okay. And he turns around. He goes to the kitchen to Nicole. He's like, I don't know what's going on out there, but it's on. I know it's on.
Nicole's like, what's on?
Yeah. He's like, it's on? He's like, yeah, I don't know what it means, but she said it a lot. It's on. Thoughts on this interaction? Was it good television? Was it good gaming? No. Thoughts, Chris, go.
I honestly just think this is Monica trying to intimidate Will for sure. She wants Will to know it is on.
It's on.
And she might have told him once or twice. I don't know. Maybe. But I do know that Monica is she's mad. And she wants to take it out on everybody. And she thinks that if she scares Will enough, that he might come back and join them in an alliance. But, I mean, she does go about it a way that I would not choose. And, I mean, it's kind of weird, but it might work. But, I mean, the Krista thing was just kind of, that was below the belt. And I did not see that coming at all. And I kind of laughed a little bit, even though Will is my remaining player.
Okay, Jada?
Just a reminder, this all started with Krista being like, oh, hey, Will, can you grab me a beer?
Yeah, she called him over there.
Just super mundane, like normal, I'm in this hot tub, but I could really use a beer right now. You're not in the water, like, do you mind? And then all of a sudden, it's like Monica's making threats and like trying to be like intimidating. And Will's like, what are you talking about? So yeah, as most of the things that happened on the show, it was entertainment, but dumb. Like what? Why? And then, like Will said, but the Krista comment being below the belt, definitely. Like, you asked him to get you a beer, and now it's like, kiss my ass. Like, what he brought you a beer. Chill.
Kiss my refreshed ass. By the way, side note, it's on. Tequilla, go ahead.
I think, like, if you remember, Shannon, when she was put on the block, she's like, all right, I'm coming after Hardy, and I'm going to make this the worst week of his life. And then when Boogie was put on the block, he was like, all right, I'm going to make it, worst week of everybody's life. So I think this is like Monica's way of being like, you know what? I'm going to start shit in the house just because I'm on the block and I'm already pissed off about everything. So, I'm just going to attack somebody. Oh, look, it's Will. He's bringing over a beer. So let's just go attack him. I think it's just. Go ahead, Jada.
Like, he's just in the field of vision, so.
Yeah, she's like, all right, well, spotted, dude. Guess I'll attack that guy. So, yeah, I think it's just more of her, like, gameplay setup, seeing how that'll go, see how people react with her.
Yeah, but she made a point. Shannon attacked Hardy, who was the HOH.
Mm-hmm.
Boogie attacked Kent, who was the HOH. Monica attacked Will, who is not the HOH.
Just collateral damage.
For nor does he have really any, he has kind of an impact on the noms, but Nicole's gonna do. Nicole made this Monica, Krista plan on her own, and Will's just kind of hanging out in the backyard.
Like I said, he was just in the field of vision, Ben.
Nicole had the right idea. She's like, I'm not leaving this fucking room because I'm not. Will's like, I like being outside. There's mirrors out there. And he goes outside. And then it goes.
I can watch myself lift weights.
He does that a lot. He does that a lot.
Oh man.
But what Will manages to do after this explosion is he does talk to Krista, and he does talk Krista down. And he's like, "Look, I didn't do this to you." She's like, "You told them what I told you." And he's like, "No, Hardy did that. I didn't do that. That was Hardy. What are you thinking? I'm just doing. I had to do what Nicole and Hardy say because I would be evicted if I didn't." And she's like, "Oh, that makes sense." And then he goes to Hardy, and he's like, "Yeah, Chris is outside," and she's like, "Yeah, I'm coming after Hardy." Hardy's like, "Chris is coming after me? Well, then she's got to go home because she doesn't deserve to win this game. I'm here for morality. She's not playing morally correct."
Oh my
And
god.
then, so Will has managed to take "It's On" and be like, "You know what? It is on, but I'm going to be nowhere near it when it's on." Thoughts on the Will's pitting Krista and Hardy together against each other and it working? Crisco.
My thoughts take me back to a certain Metallica song you all might know. The title might be called Master of Puppets. The Master of Puppets.
Absolutely.
I mean, honestly, Will just manipulates everybody in a span of a second. Once he decides how people are feeling, he decides he wants to change the entire house's mood and completely change how everybody feels about anybody else in the house. And he can make anybody feel what he wants at any time.
Hey, Jada?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like he said, he's the master of puppets. Here he is back again, manipulating things so that he's not in the spotlight. And, for him, honestly, it's kind of sad for him to be able to break that alliance up so easily and forge that mistrust between them. It's honestly kind of sad because they had been playing together this whole time, right? And he just says one thing and all of a sudden it's like, "F you, Hardy, like I'm coming for you, it's on."
It is on forever in the Big Brother house. Tequila?
Yeah, I agree with both of them. The main thing I was going to say is saying pinning two people against each other, that could be risky for anybody. But Will's so good at lying that he can do it just as a sleight of hand. Yeah, one word he could have said and bam, done. I got my plan. So yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, and it's just like every time that he's put in a situation like the "It's On" thing, he's like, Krista and Monica are pissed at him. And then in the next second, Krista is not pissed at him. She's pissed at Hardy. Hardy didn't do anything, but Will's like, "Yeah, go over there, be mad at him. I got you a like." But then we see a lot of Ophelia stuff, and they do the food comp where they got to go in the bowl of cereal and get the letters. And Bunky just keeps saying "meat" repeatedly. He's like, meat and meat and meat and mustache." And I was like, "What? That's not a food." but I'd laugh if they gave them little gummy mustaches. You may eat the gummy mustaches. And Hardy says breasts and looks at the camera for a very uncomfortable amount of time. He goes, "This is a timed challenge." She goes, "Breasts." Sorry, I was distracted. And I'm like, what?
America, did you catch that one? It was slick.
Yeah, Hardy might like breasts just a little bit.
Oh my god.
I'm America's favorite player, guys. Remember that poll that was taken 3 weeks ago? Well, breasts. Monica and Krista then flip again and decide they're going to blow up on Will. Krista says, "Will, come here, you little bitch." And he's like, "Okay."
What is happening with these two?
And basically, Will backpedals again. He's like, "Nope, not me. I didn't do this." And they're like, "All right, fine. Party, Bunky, what we got?" They're just going off. they just want to be mad. And like, I understand being mad at being put on the block, but like, holy shit, is it getting rough? And Will's like, we're going to talk about this? Okay. House meeting. We're all in this. Everybody, let's get here. Let's bring it in. And he's like, I'm doing this because I want them to yell at people who aren't me. So if I get everybody together and discussing things, I can just sit back and watch. And he does that. Everybody gets together, and everybody is screaming except for Will, who is sitting there. He said he's sitting there like playing with things and trying to like. People are zoning him out of the conversation, and it's perfect. It's exactly what he wants. And during this little thing, Monica's like, yeah, remember the whole UT? And they're like, what the hell is UT? Like, Untouchables. Me, Krista, and Hardy. And Nicole's like, oh, that really was a thing? But Hardy, you said that wasn't a thing. And he's like, well, I'm not even trying. I'm not trying to win this game. I'm trying to have somebody else win this game. How dare you turn this tide on me? And Nicole's like, but literally, she just said that you were in Alliance. She named it. You don't just have names randomly on the go. Hey, yeah, like, oh my God, that house meeting. That's probably the most explosive house meeting because it's not two people yelling at each other. It's four people yelling at each other, Bunky being very uncomfortable, and Will laughing and enjoying his life. So, obviously, clearly, Krista and Monica go on the block because they did not do themselves any favors. They made sure they were going to be nominated. So we go into episode 18. And even though he is safe, Hardy not looking so hot heading into the next week because Nicole's like, I'm really not happy with Hardy. I don't like how he played us. And Will's like, yes, Nicole, he played you very badly. And we should probably vote him out next week. So no matter what happens next week, we should get Hardy out, right? She's like, well, I don't want to be the one to do that, but yeah, you know, if he's on the block, he should probably go. Will's like, yes. Because that's all Will wants. Will's like, he evicted Shannon. I have not forgotten about that. I want to evict Hardy. That's like, he hasn't forgotten, and he's done a damn good job of ruining Hardy's game. Krista is a big threat, but Monica is running around like, I know I'm gone. I get it. I'm gone. She's packing her bags early. She's like, I know. It's me. Fuck you guys. And Hardy's like, you know what? Fine. You want to leave? You're staying. We're going to evict Krista because you don't get what you want. This is about morals. We're going to evict the person who we said should win the game because, yeah, Monica. So,
you thoughts
on
that, Chris? Go ahead.
I mean, that's just not right because honestly, I feel like Monica did kind of tried to play Hardy in that way, and like she did say Krista was her friend, and she might have been doing that to try and keep Krista in the house, but I think it was her own way to try and make it further in the game, and that she knows if she stays, she has a good chance of going very, very far because her only Alliance member is gone, and she's played so quietly that nobody really hates her.
Hey, Jada?
Yeah, it's interesting. At this point, I still don't know exactly what Monica's strategy is. Throughout the entire game, like I don't even know like what this is because is she just exploding because she's exploding, or is it a strategy to kind of get them to like go the other way? Like I really genuinely have no idea. And usually I can pick apart if it's strategy or not, and you just cannot tell sometimes because what the heck? Because if it is a strategy, you know, it's kind of dumb, but will it work? It's just crazy.
Tequilla?
Yeah, I think I'm with everybody on the same boat. Like, do we really know what's going through her head? Like, I mean, I get like her throwing this whole charade about, you know, hey, I'm leaving, you know, I know Chris is doing this. So like, yeah, does anybody know, hey, is she really doing this? Like, is she really knowing that she's going home? Or Is she just doing it to do it? But like again, like against her own friend, like that's not right either.
Mhm.
So I mean, yeah, I have no idea what's going on. Like I can't even describe it really.
To be fair, I don't think Monica knows what's going on either, though.
Like, has the entire house just already like made a vote clear to Monica? Like, we're voting you out.
No one said anything.
Like, where is this even coming from?
I guess she thinks Krista's more liked, and she is. But like, lately she's not been great, and it's like, oh, it makes sense because like you got like kind of how she put it, like likable white girl and me, and it's like you're gonna vote me out. But like, especially when you're running around pissing everybody up, it's a weird mindset for them to be like, you want to go? Fine, we're keeping you in. Like, if that's really how you win Big Brother, then fuck yeah, I'm going home first. Like, you want to go home first? You get to win the game. If I have to, I will, but I don't like it. Stupid mindset. We get this whole montage of Nicole and Will's hate-love relationship. Thoughts on it, Crisco?
I mean, seriously, there is no relationship. They're both playing each other, and they just want to use each other to get to the finals. And I think they both secretly understand that, but they don't want to understand that in front of anybody else because they know if they do, they're going to get evicted. But they do have a clear alliance, and that's just what they both seem to think because they both know that whoever goes to the final has to take Will.
Yeah. I think it's pretty obvious to everyone in the house and to them that they're kind of the powerhouses. And at this point of the game, for them to not recognize that in each other and to not recognize that they both want to make it to the end and that they're each other's best bets would be naive. And so they're coming to that realization, and they're going to, play together to make it to the end.
Hey, Tequilla?
Yeah, they hated each other for a while, and then once the game started going, that's when they're like, okay, me and her kind of agree on something, so let's go ahead and take this to the top, because Nicole knows Will, and Will knows Nicole pretty much like the P's and Q's kind of thing. So they're playing it really well, really secretive, like still nobody knows between, Will and Nicole. But they do butt heads, but they're both honest at the same time. But they know they got to do what they got to do to get to the top.
And it's an odd dynamic.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, you could never have guessed these two would work together or even talk to each other.
Didn't they hate each other at the beginning?
So much. They despise each other.
But Jada, you hated Nicole too, though. So I mean, you could have been this love fest too.
Guess so.
I think we all kind of hated Nicole in the beginning, and I still don't even think I would like Nicole. I like the way she plays the game in a sense, and I would probably work with Nicole. But as far as like, am I going to be calling Nicole after the game's over? Hell no. Like she's too much. She's too much for me. But Will points out, and I think this is true, Nicole 100% believes that Will is telling her everything, and Will is 100% loyal to her. That is not true. Will is withholding a lot of information from her, and if he can cut her, he will. He doesn't want to take her to the end, but he knows if she can win that final HOH, she's going to take him. So her being around is good for him because he's not going anywhere anytime soon in that scenario. But he does get a little cocky with it, like, a typical Will does, where he's like, we have two things in common. She loves me and I love me. And that's a pretty good relationship, I think, that we have. And I'm like, damn it, Will.
Oh, Will.
But it is. It's just like you said. It's just Will. Like, it's almost not even like despicable as a personality trait because it's what we know Will to be. It's harmless, but it's slimy.
Yeah.
And And then Will, he does more lies about Krista. He's really trying to, like, he wants Krista to stay because of the whole Mike Boogie thing. But as far as the game stance, he knows it's really not in his best interest to have Krista in the house. Then we have this whole joking thing where everyone's like, we're in a secret alliance with Bunky. Because it's pointing out the fact Bunky has no alliances. Everybody's had like 40. And Bunky is not, besides Kent, I guess, but that really wasn't even an alliance. It's more of a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Bunky doesn't have any loyalties. He's just there.
It's kind of a
He
floater.
he doesn't win anything, and he doesn't really have any strategic impact. He's there. When Bunky's like, I'm surprised I'm still here. And it's like, I'm also kind of surprised you're still there. But like, if he makes it to the end, he played morally correct. You could argue he didn't really have to play much at all, but he played correctly. So if he makes it to the end, I think he's still a big threat to win the game. But you got to win something, I would say, to get there.
Hardy could probably take some like morality and ethics notes from Bunky's gameplay.
Right. Because Bunky is genuinely probably the nicest human being on planet Earth. Like he's crying all the time, not in his own sadness. He's like, oh, I feel so bad for this person. Oh, I really wish that person didn't have to go through this thing. And I'm like,
I'm so glad we have a toaster now.
yeah. And later when they're at like they get the trampoline and everyone had this like Hardy wanted a speed bag. And Bunky's like, I want some new grass for the backyard. And they're like, Bunky, we better not have gotten some fucking grass. He's like, but then we can water it and watch the grass grow. Well, I have to mow it. He's like, and then you can work the upper body by mowing the lawn. He gets so enthused by small things, and it makes me want to have him in my house, just like small things. Like, we have a new doorstop. Did you see the new doorstop? No longer will the door fling open willy-nilly. It will stop because there's a stopper there. Isn't that nice? And I'm like, that is kind of nice to have a doorstop there, Bunky. Thanks for that. Which, again, as I told Chris earlier, go to Bunky's Facebook page and vote. Should he keep his beard or should he shave his beard? I say hashtag save the beard. I know that plug didn't need to be in there, but I put it in.
It made it.
Hashtag gay for grow.
That's also a thing in there now.
Oh man.
So they have this challenge where they're paired up and have to guess if the news story is true or false. Monica and Krista had the stupid idea of, we're just going to rock, paper, scissors, and you're true and I'm false. And we'll see that way. And I'm like, what? Nothing these two have done this week has made any goddamn sense. But the only two that were competent enough were, ironically, Will and Bunky. Managed to work, which Bunky got the gay rights question. And Will's like, Bunky, I'm going to let you answer this one. And he's like, it says, did they say that they could fire gay people, basically is what's said, right?
Yeah, fire gay people, yeah.
Just for being gay, yeah.
If they found out you were gay, they could let you go. And he's like, I'm going to say yeah. And it goes, true. And he's like, yeah, fire the gay people. That's our justice. And I'm like, you see, Bunky, if you use that personality all the time, you would have much better alliance stances than you do.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Great person, Bill Bunky Miller. So they say goodbye to Ophelia. The pig is no longer in the house. Wah, wah, wah. Although sometimes I forgot the pig was there. So honestly, I was glad.
You guys get a pig for a week. We see it on screen like 3 times.
I really wish they would have been the horse. Nicole's like, they're not going to bring a horse in here. And then the horse just walks in behind her. It's like, Nicole and Hardy, to Will's dismay, they do kind of work out their differences. They're like, we're still good to go to the final three. And she's like, yeah, we're still good to go to the final three. Dumb idea, Nicole, but it's fine. Whatever. Dumb idea, Nicole. Do you think that trying to take Hardy to the final three is a good or bad idea, Crisco?
Taking Hardy to the final three is absolutely stupid. I mean, it's the final three. He's betrayed a lot of people so far. And out of everyone in the house, I mean, this dude is shredded. If it is at all an athletic competition, he will dominate anybody in the house. And then that's it. You're gone. Like, if you take Hardy, Hardy will win.
Jada?
If you asked me this a couple weeks ago, I would have been like, yeah, that's a safe move. Hardy's a good guy. But as time has gone by, he's proved himself to be a real hypocrite. You know, even Julie calls him out. And that's, like, obviously probably not the best decision to be aligning yourself with somebody who you know for a fact has lied to you about something he didn't necessarily need to lie to you about. Because then what else is he not telling you?
Tequilla?
Yeah, with everything now, like the events that are happening now, I don't think it's a safe move. Yeah, the physical strength, I get all that, but it's more of his mindset, like where his brain's at. Like, he still doesn't know what he's doing. Like, yeah, he says, hey, I'm for myself and I'm not going to do anything until it's for myself. But yet again, you know, he's promising people this, I'm going to take you to the final two. So it's more of where your head's at rather than physical strength. But again, because he's already won 2 HOHs. So, I mean, he could possibly, you know, win another one. So, I mean, it might be smart, but it's kind of stupid again at the same time.
Yeah, and so then we get this. I already had my thoughts on that. I don't think it was a good move. Hardy is one of the only people that proves he can win multiple challenges. Like the only time, like the only reason he hasn't won more HOHs is because he's not eligible every other week. Then we get Will calling out Nicole because Will's like, I would like to vote to keep Chris, just to get, you know, just for Mike Boogie. I can't. It's kind of shitty for me to vote out as the person he loves. And she's like, no. He's like, why? And she's like, well, you know, I had to vote out Autumn and Kent, people I cared about. He's like, okay, but you could have not done that. I didn't keep you from doing that. And she's like, yeah, if you vote to keep Krista, that's you're betraying. And he's like, okay, I'll vote out Krista, but just know I think it's a shitty idea. He's like, because you know you try to do jury management. She's like, I do not do jury management. They were legitimately my friends. These are my friends. And he's like, okay, but I'm just saying, it kind of looks like you're just, it's the end of the game and you kind of want the votes. That's all I'm saying. Should that comment put a red flag in front of Nicole's face? It doesn't, spoiler alert, but should it? Crisco.
Duh. I mean, straight up, Nicole, will never have your back. He said it from day one. He was there to lie, to cheat, and to win. And Will is gonna win if you leave him in here at all. And you honestly should just not say anything and let him vote how you want so you can see whether he's loyal to you. But she screws up and tells him who to vote for, and she can't know.
Jada?
Yeah, unfortunately at this point, Nicole has decided to trust Will for some reason and go with him to the end, which again, I mean, it makes sense gameplay-wise, but not necessarily trust-wise. And so to let him influence you in any way or you influence him with something like this, it's just sketchy. Like, that is an immediate red flag, and I don't know how she missed it.
Tequila?
I had to go get the charger for the laptop. So what was the question again?
Basically, Will wanted to vote for Krista, but Nicole wouldn't let him. But he's like, "But you're trying to manage the jury. Why can't I give somebody a sympathy vote?" And she got all mad. But like, did that comment have put a red flag in front of her face? It didn't, but should it have?
I think it should have, because everything that everybody says in this game does play like a vital point in where you're going to be at. So I mean, you should like pick out every single word that people say. But I think it should have caused a red flag, like a big one at that. Telling people what you should do, even though you're in an alliance. Like, I think you should still, even though, like, say, everybody's going to vote that person out. I think one vote not for that person would be better than, having, a 4-0 or a 5-0.
You see, like, if I'm playing the game and someone points out my jury management skills, I'm not letting them get past the next week. Like, anything I got to do to get that person out. Because if they're pointing out my ability to play the game, and that in this case, Nicole's doing it well. But Will's saying you're playing the game and you're playing it well. That's not good, because that means people aren't going to want you in the end.
No, he knows too much at this point. He's got to go.
But she, at least this week, she's not seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not going to be HOH next week. She can't play the next HOH. So, for the Final 5, she can't be HOH. She's eligible for Final 4 HOH, but not Final 5 HOH. So she's leaving herself wide open with somebody going around basically saying, you're really good at this game. That's a death sentence. So, last bullet point, and then we will end this episode. And tomorrow, we'll be doing 19, 20, and 21. This is how we end every single episode. Best game, worst game, Chris.
Best game is Will. It's always going to be Will. I believe in the Puppet Master, and before I honestly was not happy that I got him as a player, but now that I see his game working and the way that it's working, I honestly feel very confident that Will can hopefully go far in this game. And if I have to pick a worst game, I feel like the worst game just now is Hardy. I mean, the way he came in, it was a good idea, and the stuff he said worked for then, but it wasn't going to work the entire game, and that makes Hardy have to be my worst gameplay pick.
And Jada?
I agree with Chris for best game. Will, we've said it time and time again, he is a master manipulator, and even if we don't necessarily like it, he's definitely doing a great job, and I can see him making it farther. Worst game, I agree, Hardy's doing pretty bad, but I would say, honestly, the worst game would probably go to Monica, because I literally don't know what the heck she's doing. And I don't think she does either.
And Tequilla?
Yeah, I agree with everybody for Will playing the best game. Don't know if he's always going to play the best game. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. But for right now, yeah, he's playing a really good game. He's really got his head on straight, unlike some other people. Worst game, I really do believe it would be Monica, coming out, yelling and screaming now for the past, 3-4 episodes when, she was quiet the whole entire time. Now she's on the block, so she's making it even worse on herself. So, yeah, that's her worst game, Monica.
Well, I'm going to give best player, we're going to go straight across the board, Dr. Will. And really, at the first few weeks, he was playing toward the bottom. And now, he's playing the best because he's the only one he's thinking with every conversation, how could this move me forward? No one else is thinking, just him. So, especially with his ability to, Krista and Monica come at him, he flips it. Krista and Monica come at him again, he flips it again. Just like that. Nicole comes at him, he flips it again. Hardy comes at him, he flips it on Krista. How the hell can you do that? I don't know how to do that. I wish I had that level of avoiding things. Worst game, I'll agree with the two ladies. because Hardy last week he did play the worst game, but he's kind of stagnantly, kind of trying to stay out of the spotlight, which is what you should do when you're not HOH. Monica fell from grace. She kind of rode the top, and at one point she was Tequilla's pick for best game, and now she's almost a definitive bottom player because she's blowing up unnecessarily. I don't know what the hell she's doing, and when you gotta wonder what a player is doing, like you just don't know what the hell is happening, that's bad. Because at least with Hardy, you know what he's trying to do. Is he successful? Not entirely, but he's kind of got a game plan. Krista, sometimes I don't know, but she has a game plan. Monica, it's like all of a sudden she's like, yeah, fuck these people, and she's just running around doing shit, and it's entertaining, but wow, from a strategy standpoint, is that confusing. So that is this episode. Tomorrow, same time tomorrow, we got 4 episodes to talk about an eviction, an HOH, a new set of noms. We'll be at the top 5 baby tomorrow. This game, the end of the game is in sight. And we'll start talking about who we think those final 2 chairs, whose butts will be in them. This is Strategic Gaming, and see you next time.